Sorry.
First one, I have other family.
You have another family, okay.
Other
A
family I
small
refer
house?
to. Yes, I have a small house. The second one, I hate the dogs. Three, I don't know. Three, I have lived in the streets in other life.
Okay, you have a second family, you hate dogs, or you've lived in the streets.
I think that only one is a true.
Did you follow the instructions of the activity? Okay.
Two truths, yes, one true.
One true and two lies.
Sorry.
The truth is that you hate dogs?
Yes.
Okay. That was too easy, Jonathan. All right, Angelica.
Okay. The first one, I have two siblings. Number two, I have lived in Barcelona before. And also the third, I am a left hand.
You say, I am left-handed.
Left-handed.
I think that the number 3.
Yeah, I also think number 3 is a lie.
Nobody else?
I think first one.
The third one, too.
The number 2.
Number 2, that you live in Barcelona?
No, I have two siblings.
Oh, you don't have two siblings.
No.
But you are left-handed.
Excuse me?
But you are left-handed?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Oh.
Is anyone else left-handed in the class?
No.
No.
All right. Good. Okay. I think everybody has shared. All right. We're going to move on. So today we're going to do Unit 65 in your book. I know some of you arrived late. We already checked the homework. I don't know. It would be great if you guys could sort of arrive within 5 minutes of the starting time so we can check the homework on time. Did anybody have any questions or want to check their sentences?
No.
Not really.
Okay. All right. We're going to do Unit 65. Today we're going to use never and ever with the present perfect to talk about new experiences and learn some adjectives for places, to describe places with the present and past perfect, actually. Okay, perfect. All right, so the last class we talked about the past perfect. Remember, the past perfect is with had, like had and the past participle. Had visited, had gone, had eaten, had seen, had met. And then the present perfect, you should already know. The present perfect is with has or have and the past participle, right? And today we're going to practice using never and ever. Okay, so let's look at some examples here. On the left, we use the past perfect with never or ever to talk about events in the past that happened for the first time. Okay, we're talking about the first time you do something. Leo was very excited. He had never visited Rome before. So we're telling a story in the past. Never means that this had not happened before. It sits between had, and the past participle. So you see it's between the two parts. Another example, Leo was very excited. It was the first time he had ever visited Rome. So this sentence is like the same thing, but we're just saying it in a different way. It was the first time he had ever visited Rome. Ever emphasizes that this is the first time it had happened. So ever, actually in this sentence, ever is optional. You don't have to put it, but it gives extra emphasis. All right, and then on the right, using the present perfect, it's basically the same if we're talking about a more recent thing in the past. Use the present perfect with never or ever to talk about events that are happening now for the first time. Nat is very excited. She has never visited Sydney before. Never means that this has not happened before. It sits between has and the past participle, right there in the middle. Nat is very excited. It is the first time she has ever visited Sydney. Ever emphasizes that this is the first time it has happened. Again, it goes between it goes between has and visited. So when you talk about the first time that something has happened, such as visiting a new place, we often use never or ever with the past perfect or the present perfect. First time you do something. All right. To give a little bit more clarification about sentences with ever and never, let's check out some more examples. Okay. Ever means at any time. We use ever in questions and in negative sentences with not. Never means at no time or not at any time. We use never in affirmative sentences to avoid a double negative. So you know that in English, we can't make a double negative, right? Like that's not permitted. You can't say like, I have never been to California. We could, because not is a negative word and never is a negative word. So this, it's like mathematics. We can't have a double negative in a sentence. So that would be incorrect. So we can say, I have never been to Brazil, or I've never seen such a big fish before. We could make a question with ever. Have you ever been to Brazil? Have you ever seen such a big fish? Or finally, we could make a sentence with ever, a negative sentence with ever, which is exactly the same meaning as this, as these ones. So this one is the same as this one, and this one is the same as this one. I haven't ever been to Brazil. That's the same as saying, I've never been to Brazil. You see, this one is with never, and this one is not ever. Okay, and this again, I haven't ever seen such a big fish is the same as I've never seen such a big fish. It's the same. Okay, so just be careful. We use ever in questions and negative sentences with not, like that. And we use never in affirmative sentences like these ones. All right. All right, one more thing. We can also use ever with superlatives and adjectives like only and first. So it was the first time that she'd ever been abroad. This is the best meal that we've ever had. This is the only thing that I've ever wanted. Harold Warbuckle is the most demanding client I have ever met. The first job I ever had was in a toothpaste factory. All right. So we can use with ever with superlatives, only, and first. Okay. So let's do some practice with this. We are going to do exercises 65.2 and 65.4 in your book. I'm going to give you the opportunity to do it by yourself first, and then we'll check it together, okay? So get out your book. We're going to do these two, both of these ones. At the bottom, I'll give you maybe 5 minutes to do both of those, and then we'll check your answers, okay? You can ask me if you have any questions. I'm here, I'm listening.
Okay.
Okay, I see Alejandro's ready.
I'm ready.
Jonathan's ready, great. Okay, Noemi's ready. All right, let's go ahead and start checking. Okay, so we're gonna do 65.2. It says cross out the incorrect word in each sentence. The example says, Tom had never been on a plane before his trip to Madagascar. Okay, it means it was the first time. It had never happened before that. All right. Do I have a volunteer for number 1? You can just raise your hand. So I can see you.
Me.
Okay, Jonathan, was that Jonathan?
Yes.
Okay.
Last summer was the first time we had ever gone camping. It rained every day.
Correct. Ever. Good. Camping. Camping.
Camping.
It rained every day. Good. Number 2.
I have never, sorry.
I need to, like, I can call on you if you raise your hand or have chaos.
Okay.
Okay, Angelica.
I have never eaten risotto until I went to Milan. Now I cook it for myself at home.
Yummy. Have you guys tried risotto?
Yes.
Yeah?
Oh, yes.
Okay, number 3. Noemi.
I had never been overseas before they went to Paris. They thought the flight was exciting.
Good. So when we're talking about going abroad, we can say abroad or overseas, al extranjero, right? Overseas or abroad. Abroad. That's another synonym for that word. Good. Number 4. Alejandro.
We traveled overnight from Bangkok. It was the first time I had ever slept on a train.
Good. The first time I had ever slept on a train. Again, today we're practicing the past participles of irregular verbs. Okay, so it's sleep, slept, slept. That one's the irregular one. Slept. Good. All right, number 5. Jonathan.
I heard you went to Madrid last month. Was that the first time you had ever been there?
Good. The first time you had ever been there. Correct. We use ever in questions. Good. Have you guys been to Madrid before? Has anyone ever been to Madrid?
No,
Yes,
I haven't,
me.
I haven't ever been.
You haven't ever been. Okay, Angelica has. Good. All right, number 6.
Me.
Angelica.
James had never been bungee jumping until he tried in New Zealand last year.
Good. Has anyone ever been bungee jumping?
No, I haven't.
Me neither. Would you like to?
I'm not
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Okay, next part, 65.4. Fill in the gaps using have in the correct tense. Tamal is very nervous. I'm imagining a nervous Tamal. Tamal is
It's a
very
weird
nervous.
name.
Tamal is very nervous, but also excited. He has never tried skydiving before. Okay, skydiving is when you jump out of an airplane with a parachute. All right, number 1. Anybody want to do number 1? Alejandro.
I'm speechless. It's the first time I have ever seen a lion in the wild.
Oh, good. I'm speechless. I'm speechless is me queda sin palabras, right? Right? I'm speechless. This is the first time I have ever seen a lion in the wild. Okay, number 2. Noemi.
Sam and Ellie don't know what to expect. They have never been on a cruise.
Good. Has anyone ever been on a cruise before?
No.
No, I haven't.
No. Yeah. Okay. Number 3, volunteer. Jonathan.
Marisa has never been skiing before she went to Alps. Now she loves it.
Good.
She
Marcia.
loves it.
Marcia has, well, look, on this one, this sounds like it's in the past because now she loves it, right? So I would say Marcia had never been skiing before she went to the Alps. Now she loves it, right? Because it says now she loves it. That makes me understand that it's probably in the past, I think.
Okay.
All right. So, and then we say skiing. Has anyone been skiing before? Have you been skiing? Have you gone skiing? Nope. Okay. All right. A volunteer for number 4. Angelica.
When I went to Berlin, it was the first time I had ever been on vacation alone.
Good. It was the first time I have ever been on vacation alone. Has anyone been on vacation alone? I think we talked about that one time before. Alejandro,
Yeah.
you told me you have been on vacation alone. Cool. All right, number 5, a volunteer. Alejandro.
Yes, we had never flown for longer than 4 hours until we went to Cuba.
Good. This one is also in the past. We had never flown for longer than 4 hours until we went to Cuba. Has anyone been to Cuba?
No.
Yes.
Oh, you have. Noemi and Angelica? Cool. I would like to go to Cuba. I have never been. Okay, volunteer for number 6. Jonathan.
The children can't wait. It will be the first time they have ever traveled by train.
Perfect. Yes, this one's in the present because it's kind of something that's coming in the future. Perfect. Have you traveled by train before? Have you been on a train?
Yes, I have.
Yes.
Okay. Cool. Great. All right. Perfect. So we're going to do a little bit more practice now. Making your own sentences. Okay. So let's start with these one. Well, no, let's start with the ones on the left here. Over here. Finish these sentences. We have 3 sentences that we're using the present perfect and 2 sentences using the past perfect. You need to complete the sentence in any way you want, okay? As long as it makes sense. So the first one says, I have never seen before. I have never been to complete. Okay. The most person I have ever met. Here you need an adjective, like the most intelligent or whatever. The most person I have ever met is, then down here, last summer was the first time we had, okay, it's in the past perfect, this one. I had never tried something until, and you tell me when, okay? All right, so take a couple minutes, try to complete these sentences. You can write it in your notebook, on your computer, you can write it in the chat, you can prepare to tell me, whatever. I'm going to put my examples in the chat so you can see an example for each sentence. Are you guys finished with your sentences? All right. Something is happening with my.
Yes.
All right. All right, so I'm gonna call on you. I have never seen before. Angelica, what's your sentence?
I have never seen before a ghost.
I have
Hopefully.
never seen a ghost
A
before.
ghost before.
Okay, I've never seen a ghost before. Noemi, what about yours?
I have never seen a miracle before.
Good. Jonathan?
I have never seen a mountain before.
Okay. Other Jonathan?
Sorry. I forget my name.
I have never seen murder before.
I've never seen a murder before.
A murder before.
Good one. Okay. I have never been to Angelica.
I have never been to New York
Great. Noemi?
before.
I have never been to Bali.
Jonathan?
I have never been the desert.
Okay, to the desert. Good. Alejandro?
To the desert.
I have never been to Cartagena.
Cartagena. Okay, great. Okay, the most Now this you can change it. If it doesn't work with most, you could use this a different superlative adjective like the funniest or the fattest or the biggest or the tallest or the smallest. You can change it if you want. Okay, Angelica.
Well, the most handsome person I have ever met is Aaron Diaz.
Okay, good. Noemi, sorry.
The most creative person I have ever met is Gerardo Delgado, a Mexican choreographer.
Good. Okay, Jonathan.
The most funny person I have ever met is my father-in-law.
Good. With funny, we're going to change that one to funniest. So the funniest person I have ever met is my father-in-law. Perfect. Okay, and Alejandro.
The most easygoing person I have ever met is my professor, Alexander.
Okay, easygoing. Good. Very nice. All right. And then the ones in the past. Last summer was the first time, Angelica?
I stay at home at vacations.
Okay, good. Noemi?
Last summer was the first time I haven't gone out.
Good, I haven't gone out. Jonathan, last summer?
Last summer was the first time to listen audiobooks.
Good, the first time I had listened to audiobooks. Yeah, that's cool.
Listen.
And Alejandro?
Last summer was the first time I had played a guitar.
Good, all right. And the last one, I had never tried until, Angelica?
I had never tried taking dancing class until I noticed I'm not a good dancer.
Noemi?
I had never tried to learn Italian until I met Claudio.
Good, perfect. Jonathan?
I had never tried listen audiobooks until work.
Good. I had never tried listening to audiobooks until last summer.
I work.
Until I worked.
I work last summer or last week.
Okay. And Alejandro?
I had never tried to sing in public until I met my roomie.
Until you met your roomie. Okay, good. Does your roomie make you sing in public?
Not really.
All right, now we're gonna do the exercise from your book, 65.8. We're gonna do this out loud, okay? Thinking on your toes. Say the sentences out loud using ever or never and filling in the gaps. Example, I didn't know her name before I met her yesterday. Yesterday was the first time I had ever met her. Okay, so this one's in the past. I had ever met her. All right, so we're gonna kind of do this out loud here. Number one, if you think you know the answer to number one, think about it for a second. When you're ready, you can raise your hand and we can check.
Me.
Okay, Angelica.
Ben is so excited. It's his first time on a plane. Ben is so excited. He has never been before on a plane.
Good. We're just gonna put the word before at the end, but besides that, it's perfect. He has never been on a plane before. Or just he has never been on a plane. Perfect. Wonderful. All right, number two, until last week, Dawn had never been to Iceland. Okay, when you're ready, you can tell me and shout out the answer.
Me?
Okay, Alejandro?
Yes. Last week was the first time that Dawn had ever been to Iceland.
Last week was the first time that Dawn had ever been to Iceland. Good. Okay, number three. Before I went to Japan, I hadn't eaten miso soup. Okay, if you know the answer, you can shout it out.
I have never eaten miso soup before.
I had never eaten miso soup before. Perfect. Before I went to Japan. Okay.
Before I went to Japan, exactly.
Good. All right, number three, until now, Jen has never traveled alone. Okay, if you know the answer, you can shout it out. Number 4, 5, 1, 4.
I have it's the first time Jen had ever traveled alone.
Good, except I think we're gonna put it in the present perfect. So it's the first time Jen has ever traveled alone. Good.
Travel alone, okay.
All right, and the last one. I had never gone sailing before last year. When you know the answer, you can shout it out.
Maybe. A ver, ya está. Sí se prendió. Last year was the first time I had gone sailing.
Perfect. Last year was the first time I had gone sailing. All right. Nice. All right, we're gonna do some speaking here. Some chatting, okay? We're gonna ask, have you ever questions? So all you're going to ask a question to someone else in the class saying, have you ever? And then you can use one of these ideas. Of course, you need to conjugate the verb, right? You need to put it in the past participle, like this one with ride, it would be, have you ever ridden an elephant? Or this one with be, it would be, have you ever been to Chiapas? So you need to conjugate the verb, okay? Or if you want to invent a question, if you don't like these questions and you want to invent a question, maybe you can invent a question with one of these irregular verbs. If you want to try to challenge yourself, you can invent a question with one of these verbs. All right. So you ask a question to someone in the class, and then the person who answers, you could say, no, I haven't, or yes, I have. And if you say yes, maybe you can tell us a little bit more, or we can ask you a follow-up question so you can tell us more about it. Okay. So I'm going to start. Okay. I'm going to start. Noemi, have you ever quit smoking?
Yes, I have. I just smoke for a small time and then I stop.
And then you stopped. So
Yeah, because I don't like.
It wasn't too difficult for you to quit?
Not at all. In fact, I don't like to smoke.
Yeah.
I think I just try because I think you must try, but no, it's not for me.
Right, right. Okay, good. All right, why don't you ask someone else a question?
Angelica,
Mhm.
have you ever gone to a costume party?
Yes, I have. In the past, in Halloween, I used to use a costume for a party. Okay, now it's my turn. To Alejandro, have you ever left something in a taxi?
Yes, I have ever left someone something in a taxi. By the way, it was a battery from my computer.
Oh, you left your computer in a taxi?
A battery,
A what?
a battery or something
battery.
that
A battery, okay.
a battery. Yes, I lost it.
Oh, that sucks. That's a bummer. Okay,
Yes.
ask someone else a question.
Yes, to Jonathan. Jonathan, have you ever beat a sandcastle?
Beat a what? A song?
A sandcastle?
Sandcastle? No, I don't know where is Sandcastle.
Alejandro, can you describe what a sandcastle is?
Yes, it's something that the children doing on the beach with the sand, with water at the sand, and they build this figure. A princess and a prince live in this place.
Yeah, so
Okay.
a castle out of sand.
Yes, I have. And so sometimes when I have traveled to with my family, I make a sandcastle.
I see. Yeah, I'm sure your kids like to make sandcastles on the beach.
Yes.
Cool. All right. Why don't you ask someone else?
Noemi, have you ever played soccer?
Well, yes. I try to play soccer, well, in the school, but It was not soccer at all. I hate soccer. I really hate all this kind of plays with balls. I hate them. All this kind of plays, games with balls. Yeah. So yes, of course, in schools, I think all the kids we must play this kind of games, but I hate it. I hate them. Alejandro, have you ever eaten Chinese food?
Yes, I have ever eaten Chinese food. In general, I don't like it, but well, I tried. The next question to Angelica.
Okay.
Okay. Have you ever ridden in a hot air balloon?
No, I haven't, and I wish I could ride a hot balloon once in the future.
Yeah, it sounds cool. Has anyone ever ridden in a hot air balloon? No? No, yeah. I know you can do it like in Teotihuacan, or there's other
Yes.
places in Mexico, right, where you can do it?
Yeah.
Yes, also in San Miguel de Allende.
Yeah, it seems cool. All right, Angelica, ask someone else.
Okay, now to Noemi. Noemi, have you ever held a newborn baby?
Oh, no, I haven't. No, I haven't, and I hope I won't do it. I don't want. I don't like kids.
Scary. A little scary, right?
Okay.
Yes, no. Jonathan, have you ever slept in a tent?
Yes, I have. I think. Maybe I don't remember, but yes, I haven't. Alejandro, have you ever been find money on the sidewalk?
No, I haven't. I haven't found money on the sidewalk.
Never?
In the
Not
stairs?
even like, not
On the
even
sidewalk, no. In the
Facebook?
stairs, yes.
On the stairs. Okay.
Yeah.
To Angelica,
Okay.
have you ever spent a whole day watching TV?
No, I haven't.
No. Wow.
No. My limit or maximum time that I had been watching TV is something like 6 hours. 6 hours. More than that, it's not possible. My face and my eyes looks, I think that it's going to look as a square.
Yeah.
Okay, now for Jonathan.
Mhm.
Jonathan, have you ever played chess?
No, I haven't. I don't like chess.
Okay.
I prefer, I don't know, soccer, damas chinas, or however. Yes.
Chinese
No-
sticks.
yes. Noemi, have you ever sell a car?
Yes, I have. In fact, two cars.
Mm.
I sold 2 cars. Angelica, have you ever stayed up all night?
Yes, I have. I have stay up all night when I was in college. Sometimes I have to do homework, and it was so frequently that I spent all night making my homework.
Okay.
Now for Alejandro. Have you ever write a poem? Wrote?
Written, no?
Written?
Yes, I have never written a poem. I don't like it. In general, no. No, it's not something that I feel comfortable.
Mm.
Okay. To Noemi. Noemi, have you ever sent a postcard?
Yes, I have sent a
Wow.
postcard. When I was a child, my one of my family lived in Tijuana. So I write her some letters. Yes. Jonathan, have you ever lost the key to your house?
Yes, I have. Sometimes I left my kids, especially when I travel with my kids. The last weekend, I into to the window to my house because my wife left the keys in house of my father-in-law, and I can return, and I I enter my kids across the window, and my wife yes.
I remember doing that as a kid. My dad forgot the keys and he put me through the window.
Yes, yeah, it's more easy to return.
Good. Okay.
To Angelica, have you ever cut your own hair?
No, I haven't. No, I can imagine I can imagine have a good result if,
No,
if
but
I,
as a kid, a lot of times children will try to cut their own hair sometimes.
Yes.
oh yeah, sometimes kids. Now to Noemi. Noemi, have you ever ride a motorcycle? Have you ever
Yes.
ridden a motorcycle?
Yes, I have. I have ridden a motorcycle because when I was a child, my father, as the Simpson, bought me a motorcycle, and I was a kid, just a child, but he
Okay.
bought me a motorcycle, and so I did it.
So you learned how to ride a motorcycle when you got your driver's license?
I haven't a license. Of course, in the beginning, my father was with me,
Oh,
but then I grew up and I couldn't do it alone.
okay, got it.
Yeah. To Alejandro, have you ever swum in a lake?
I have never swam in a lake. No.
Okay.
For Angelica.
Okay.
Angelica, have you ever asked someone out?
Ask someone out
What does that mean? Can you explain?
in a date or something?
Uh-huh.
I have a question in this. Ask out is for a date, no?
Yes, ask someone out is for a date.
Yeah, for a date.
No, I haven't. I don't know why. Well, maybe in the past I be a little bit shy. Now I think that I might be cooled down, but I didn't. Oh, I didn't meet somebody recently that I want to ask to go out.
Good. I
I
haven't.
haven't met somebody recently. And even, and also my boyfriend. I don't think
Okay.
that he likes it a lot
Like
like this.
Okay.
Okay. Now, to Jonathan. Have you ever make a cake?
No,
Make cake.
I haven't. But maybe hot cakes, but but it's in a cake. But I have yes I have. No, sorry, no, I haven't. Only hot cakes. To Noemi, have you ever catch a fish?
No, I haven't. I think this is a boring activity. Well, for me, so I haven't. I haven't. I never tried to fish. I never tried. To Angelica. Have you ever flew in a private airplane?
No, I haven't. I haven't. I haven't flown in a private plane.
Okay.
Okay, now to Ale. Ale, have you ever have you ever felt on the street?
Yes, I have faith on the street sometimes.
Fallen, okay.
Oh, I have fallen.
So for fall, this was kind of difficult. It's fall, fell, fallen. Be careful,
fallen.
that is different than the word feel, which is feel, felt, felt. So be careful, fall, caer, feel, sentir.
Okay. To Jonathan. Jonathan, have you ever had a pet?
Yes. When I was, yes, I have. When I was a child, I have some dogs, cats, yes, dogs and cats. Yeah. To Angelica, have you ever been sent email let me see, a wrong email?
Yes, I have sent a wrong email. Not very dramatic, but I have sent a wrong email to another person.
Okay. Cool.
Okay, now for you, Jonathan. Have you ever sent flowers to your wife?
Yes. Yes. Yes, I have. I remember that in my first years of marriage, I had a motorcycle, and I have been to travel with in one month the flowers. With the other hand, I had to take the manubrio,
Okay.
and it was very crazy because no, it was a crazy moment. But yes, I have.
Okay.
To Alejandro, have you ever meet? I know. Have you ever win a promote in your job?
So we don't really say win in that case. We would say, have you ever gotten a promotion in your
Okay. Okay, or win the lottery.
Yeah, you can win the lottery. You could win a competition. You could win
Yes.
maybe some kind of competition. Have you ever won a competition?
Yes, I have won a competition when I was at the middle school, I won the first place in physics.
Ah, great, cool.
Okay, wow.
To Noemi. Have you ever taken a chemistry course, Noemi?
Yes, in the school, I have, but nothing else. I am marketer, come on. But I like chemistry. I think it's cool. For Jonathan, have you ever broken your arm?
Broken. Yes. Yes. When I was a child, playing football, I let me see. I fell out, and my left arm broken to two parts. I remember, and my father's went to a physiotherapeuta to move my arm, but it was broken. But he tried to move and how to say colocar, or
Put it back in position.
yes, but my arm it was broken, and it was a very uncomfortable moment.
Ooh, ouch. That sounds pretty
Yes.
painful.
Yes.
Oh no. And then later, did you get a cast on your arm?
Cast? Where's cast?
Cast is what they put on your arm to stabilize if you have a broken bone.
Yes, I have two tornillos. I don't know where is tornillos. Screws. Yes.
Your arm. Oof.
Mm-hmm.
Ouch. That
Ouch.
sounds pretty-
Yes, ouch.
Oh man. Okay, guys, very good. Now I skipped this vocabulary section. So I'm gonna, because I thought it was more interesting for us to talk about our life experiences. So I'm gonna add this one for homework. So in your book on the next page, it talks about some vocabulary, some adjectives for describing places. Oops, 65.6. These are adjectives for describing places. Okay, and then you're going to do the listening. And then one more thing, you're going to practice using ever and never, writing one question, one negative sentence, and one affirmative sentence. And that's it. And then if you want more practice with ever and never, these are some websites. And if you need more practice, I see some of you, I hear today that some of you need some practice with the past participle, you know, conjugating the verb in the correct form for those irregular verbs. So you might want to do this extra practice if that's you. Okay. All right. I'll put this homework in the chat so you can see it. And that's it. I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Okay,
See you.
thank you. See you tomorrow.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.